So every marketing agency you've been with in the past promises you leads, but almost none of them clarify what a lead is versus a qualified lead. And that difference is probably why your last agency didn't work so well for you. So if you've ever paid for ads or hired someone to run them for you and ended up with a phone full of numbers that didn't go anywhere or that never answered or people that just don't even remember filling out a form, this video is going to go over exactly why that happened and what a real qualified lead actually looks like for you. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to implement into your business or at least know what to ask an agency before you ever pay them another dime.
So your previous agency promised you all these, all these leads, and they were going to be high quality, ready to buy. Well, what they didn't tell you is all they were simply doing was sending them to a form on Facebook, asking for their name, their number, email, and then just pressing submit and sending you those leads. One, most of those leads didn't even know that you guys existed, probably. And two, they're all they asked, all the information they asked for was just a name and a number. So that's exactly why this does not work. If your past agency, if you were just getting leads and all you were getting told was a name and a number, you got lied to. You got screwed. So anytime we run our ads, whether it's Facebook, Google, whatever, we always make sure that we ask our leads multiple questions to make sure that they're pre-qualified. So say you guys have some, budgeting, some other questions that you guys want to ask. Like we can ask questions like, what is your budget? If their budget, this is a roofing example, but it can work with anything. If they don't meet the budget requirement, they immediately get disqualified. Or say like they're just gathering information, from the form. You don't want to deal with that. So we just disqualify them immediately before they ever even make it to the funnel. So you don't even have to deal with those type of people. Sometimes it's even crazy. Sometimes people will even be like, oh, they will click, oh yeah, we have roof damage, and then you'll call them and they'll be like, what is a roof? Or they'll say something stupid like that. That's literally what it is when you're getting just sent a name and a number. You don't know what's on the information. You don't know what is coming to you. And if the lead makes it through this part, it is great. Obviously, this is a pretty qualified lead, but there's more to it. If this is all that they did for you, then this is trash. I mean, a third grader could guess something like this. Like a third grader could put, they have a $25,000 budget, or as soon as possible. Like that's not qualifying the leads at all. That's just that's bare minimum.
So the pre-qualification doesn't just stop at the form. It actually continues through the follow-up, which is really important. So once someone actually fills out the initial questions, the automated system follows up with them to confirm like the key details. So like, are they still looking to move forward? Is the timeline still accurate? That kind of thing. And if someone goes cold and it doesn't respond to any of that follow-up, that's actually very useful information. It tells us that they probably weren't as serious as they seemed, and you don't have to waste time chasing them. But if they're actively responding and engaging with the follow-up messages, then that's a signal that they are a real ready buyer. So by the time you guys get notified, you're not just getting someone who filled out the form once, you're getting someone who's shown consistent interest in your product or service.
Another thing I hear all the time is sometimes you will be getting leads not even remotely in your service area. Like I heard horror stories. One time I had a client in Atlanta and she said that she got a lead from New York one time from working with a generic agency. Like I'm telling you, it blows my mind. Like if you're not getting quality leads inside of areas that you can actually serve, then you're paying for something that is not worth paying. You can go do this yourself. I'm literally giving you all the free information. You can go implement this yourself. And that leads me to my next point. Like I said, a third grader can fill out a form, get questions right. Anyone can do that. That's why you need to make sure you have someone calling the leads in place. So if you don't have anyone, calling the leads for you guys or calling them after they submit the form, then that's why you're getting low intent leads. You're getting low quality leads because they're just getting sent, a name or number, they're filling out a form, but no one's calling to check if these leads are actually qualified. And that's something that you need to make sure you're doing if you're not already doing that. So obviously this is something you can implement yourself. Yeah, and I mean my team does this as well. If that's something that you don't have in house, if you don't have in-house sales reps, my team we pre-qualify every lead before they ever come into contact with you. But this is literally something that you can implement yourself. Like I want you to take this and do this yourself. And lastly, also you need to be sending your leads to landing pages. If you're not utilizing landing pages, you're screwing yourself because with the landing page, you want to make it something that's easier, or not high friction, not a lot of distractions, but you want to make sure that it has exactly what the person clicked on the ad. Because then if it's just they're just answering questions, some of the people won't even remember what they put on the questions or what they actually answered or what the ad was even about. So this just adds an extra step so that you're not being flooded with low quality leads. I'll give you an actual tangible example right here of why quality over quantity wins every time. So like say your last agency or an agency sends you 40 leads. They promise you 40 leads, and your average job is probably like, a couple $1,000, and you only need to hit a specific number every single month. And they're sending you 40 leads, but only 2 of those leads are actually closable. You're wasting so much time, driving out, giving estimates, giving quotes to leads that aren't even actually closable. Whereas if you maybe just had, 5 or 6, pre-qualified leads that are, have high intent of buying, that have already been, spoken to over the phone, that have already, went through the whole funnel, and you have the answers, all that, they're definitely closable. And you guys, I mean, if you close even just, you can, those, all those leads that we send you guys are already pre-qualified and closable. So you don't have to worry about spending your time on, dealing with tire kickers. You can, the only customers that you deal with are people who are actually ready to buy. And that's why this whole system is so important. And you need to implement this into your business if you haven't already. So if this is something that, you haven't already implemented, I strongly suggest that you do this. And if you're tired of chasing leads that go nowhere, or dealing with marketing agencies that are promising you thousands of leads and none of them are closable, and you want to see what an actual qualified pipeline looks like for your business, feel free to reach out or apply below, to come work with me, and I'll show you exactly what that process will look like.